G's, no design on my jacket. Work hard and I'm changing my bracket. Talk tough, we ain't hearing that racket. Dots came in, you know how to stack it. Don't take it wrong, but I'ma need my ends though. I got tigers on my chest like Kenzo. Rail came, yeah, he putting that Benz though. Carol's here, man, you know he stay 10 toes. Big dog, man, you know I ain't worried. Bent up, so I'm talking real slurry. Got a blast, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is Adam Caplan, the voice in your ears with AC Radio. We got a doubleheader this week. Again, hope you're liking the trend of Monday, Tuesday, but definitely that Thursday for 2 episodes a week. Just trying to promote more content for you guys, more action-packed analysis, breakdown, feedback, energy. You know the drill at AC Radio. And let's get right into it because we got UFC 286. Leon Edwards, the welterweight champion of the world, versus the former welterweight champion of the world and pound-for-pound king, Kamaru Usman, numero 3. I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, first of all, it's been a long time since the UFC and England have been waiting to have a champion defend its title in England, and we got it in Leon Rocky Edwards. And it's a real rocky story when you look back at it. I mean, we had that great episode, Look at Me Now, Leon Edwards shocks the world versus Kamaru Usman. You can go back to that if you'd like. But we had such a rocky story in the sense that Kamaru Usman was dominating for 4.5 rounds against Leon Rocky Edwards. And then Edwards' coach gave that famous speech that has been clipped millions and millions of times and has even fueled up and motivated plenty of people on maybe some of their darkest days when they're scrolling through social media, and then bang, headshot dead, as Leon Edwards called it, head kick to the face. He shocks the world and defeats Kamaru Usman in Utah. And I got to say, this builds a great storyline and an exciting matchup for Saturday because, you know, first of all, there's a couple of things here. You know, Kamaru Usman won the first fight, basically won 98% of the second fight, but then that last 2% cost him the championship. Kamaru Usman's also gotten surgeries. I believe he's gotten 1 or 2, definitely one of them on the wrist, which maybe took a little bit more time than maybe people thought. But at the same time, with the scheduling of the UFC, the fight is happening, I believe, when it should be happening. And man, this is an interesting one because Leon Edwards is riding such a high right now. You know, he was blown up in the media. Everyone loved him. Everyone got behind him. That was a moment in time when you saw a guy in his darkest moments. He definitely got the brakes beaten out of him, the spirit taken from him. And then the next thing you know, Leon Edwards digs deeper and finds a place inside of him that most of us go our entire lives without finding that one spot inside of us that you're just able to dig and find that extra gear, that extra bit of light, that extra bit of spirit, that extra bit of might. And Leon Edwards found that in Utah, you know, when he hit that head kick on Kamaru Usman, and it shocked the world. You know how many people were leaving the bar, leaving the stadium, leaving their couch, you know? And then bang, Leon Edwards shocks the world and knocks out Kamaru Usman. So it's a great story here because it's a true Rocky story. Leon isn't supposed to be in this position. Kamaru Usman is still supposed to be the champion. But Leon Edwards shocks the world with that head kick, and now he's headlining at UFC 286 in London, England. You know, a kid from Birmingham, headlining now in the great city of London. You know, it is going to be an exciting night, and I can't wait for it because there's a lot of questions here. People are like, yeah, Leon Edwards is the champion, rah, 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 Leon, we love you, Leon. But it's like, he still lost the majority of the fight. Who's to say that Kamaru Usman isn't going to go in there and finally get the job done and shut it down completely, you know? And it's interesting because I originally compared the matchup to Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva 1. How Chael beat the brakes off of Anderson and then won that last moment in the fight by triangle choke, and then they rematched, and holy shit, Chael didn't have shit for Anderson. Anderson TKO'd him in 1 or 2 rounds. It was done before it started. Do we see that on Saturday night? Does Leon get in there and just beat the brakes off of Kamaru Usman? Does the knockout show? Is Kamaru going to be tentative? Is he going to be chinny? You know, is he going to be reluctant to be in some of the exchanges with Leon Rocky Edwards due to the fact that he got head kicked? And I'm a little bit worried because I think Leon is banking on that a lot. He keeps talking about it, how, you know, when you get knocked out like that, you never come back from it. And, you know, I'm the new champion. I'm the new breed. It's my time, this and that. I think Kamaru had his time. I think he's going to be tentative against me. I think that he's going to think about that head kick. He's going to think about that knockout. Dude, that's a tough pill to swallow if it don't go that way. Because Kamaru Usman is still that guy. He's got great wrestling. He's got great boxing. He's got great footwork. He's had more time to train and work on some of those dynamics without even having to throw power punches because of the wrist surgery. He's had plenty of time to work on those fundamentals even more. And he already had high-level fundamentals. And his wrestling caliber is still high level. So that's why it's like some of these things that Leon is banking on, I don't know if it's realistic. I don't think it is. Because Kamaru Usman is still a tough guy. He got knocked out in his 15 seconds of his career. You're ready to write everything off. Hold on now. Kamaru Usman's a good fighter. Amazing boxing, great footwork. Look where he's came from. To where he is now in terms of his striking. Working with Trevor Whitman, being in Florida, working with these killers every day. It's like, come on now. Why are we writing him off after one head kick here? Let's not forget that Leon Edwards was the one sitting on the stool with his head in between his tuchus. Didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? And then his coach, he rised something out of him maybe, or it was divine intervention and Leon Edwards was supposed to be the champion and he's relishing in it. So if I'm Leon Edwards, you got to bank on a little bit more that Kamaru's not going to be the same and not going to be that guy. You know what I mean? I don't like that narrative. But at the same time, that that's just part of the storyline. It's part of the promotion. AC's always the first one to tell you guys to take some of these things with a grain of salt. And as am I. Because Leon has a great team around him. They're sharp, they're young, they're motivated, and they're happy to be, and they're blessed to be in the position that they're in. And I know that Leon Edwards is going to show up on Saturday night prepared to go against one of the best in the world in Kamaru Usman because that's who he's going to get. You know what I'm saying? Leon has to stick to the game plan. He's got to be strong with his takedown defense like he was in the first round. He's got to stay behind his jab. He's got to match the dynamic footwork in Kamaru Usman with his dynamic footwork, and he's got to be relentless with those kicks, keeping Kamaru Usman at range with those kicks to the body, kicks to the legs, and then mixing it up on the feet as well. The exchanges around the octagon fence is going to be very important because that's where Kamaru is going to want to keep Leon up against the fence or on the mat. That's where he's going to want to keep Leon. So those exchanges are going to be very important where Leon's going to have to look to post and circle off, or he's going to have to get rowdy with the elbows to create that distance. Leon Edwards is going to have to command respect from Kamaru Usman from the opening bell. In the first round of their last fight, he had a great game plan. The takedown defense looked good, and then it dragged on. And then Usman was able to settle in until the head kick. Edwards can't let that happen. Because Edwards showed in the last fight that as much as Kamaru Usman was his worst enemy in there, Leon Edwards was his worst enemy. Because in between rounds, there's nobody that's dropping your head except yourself. In the 5 minutes when the round is on, that's all Kamaru Usman. But in the middle of those rounds, when you're with your corner and you're dragging your head and you're looking like a bump on a log, that's on you. So it's going to be up to Leon Edwards to stay sharp mentally and to ride and stick with that confidence that he has now. Because it could be false confidence. All the glitz and the glamour and the new puss in the game and the new money and all of these things coming at you builds a spirit in you, builds a fire. That all goes away when you get into the octagon and you get humbled or you get brought back to reality from one of the best in the world in Kamaru Usman. And that's what makes this fight so exciting. Is Leon going to keep riding that wave, baby? Or is he going to crash? And is Kamaru Usman going to say, dude, that was only a quick pit stop in my career. I'm the champion. Thanks for the belt back. If you want one more, we'll do it in my hometown or we'll do it in Florida. We'll do it in Miami, whatever you want to do. But for now, I hope you enjoyed your 15 seconds of fame because Kamaru Usman is back. And that's what Kamaru is ready to do. But Leon, on the other hand, has a whole nation behind him. 2 nations behind him, England and Jamaica. And he doesn't want to let any of them down. Great Muay Thai. I love the pad work from Leon Edwards. We saw it in the lead up to the first fight, how sharp he was with those body kicks and those head kicks. We saw it. He was practically chasing his coach across the entire gym with just kick after kick after kick. In Thailand, they're loving it. But when we were watching the fight, you almost forget about all of that. And then only after, when Leon lands the head kick, do then the clips come out. You know, people are all so quick to forget things because if Leon doesn't land that head kick, they're not posting those clips of Leon setting up that head kick in training. You know what I'm saying? It changes the game a little bit. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to it because we got a guy in Kamaru Usman that loves to wrestle, but also has great boxing and is probably looking to do exactly what he did against Leon Edwards in the first two fights. He's probably looking to do it again in the third fight, but there's a different vengeance there. There's a different revenge concept. You know, when you go from being pound for pound king to then people talking about you like you're not going to be in the same in there, it lights a different fire under your ass. And I believe that Kamaru Usman is going to bring that fire. And then from Leon Edwards, a newfound confidence, a newfound spirit, a newfound world champion, great Muay Thai, good takedown defense. Don't sleep on Leon's takedown defense now. This has all the makings of a fucking classic. Why? Because Leon Edwards has the opportunity to prove that he is that guy and rise to the occasion against one of the best in the world in Kamaru Usman. And you bet your ass if those first 2 to 3 rounds are exciting between the two of them, you could expect for an exciting championship rounds. So I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot there. Is the Rocky story going to continue in Leon Edwards where he's going to finally put all of the naysayers and the critics to rest and show that he is the new breed and the new welterweight champion? Or is Kamaru Usman going to step back on that throne and say, dude, back like I never left, baby. Y'all must have forgot, to quote the great Ariel Helwani, that I was once the welterweight champion and the pound-for-pound king, and you better recognize that I'm that guy, and that was a small blip in my career that you guys over-exasperated and completely over-embellished, and here I am bringing y'all and Leon Edwards back to reality and who the welterweight king is. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good one, and we got to take a sip of that blue raspberry because now we're going to get to the co-main event, and let's just say these two fighters are not guys that you want to miss because these are two fighters that we've spoken a lot about on AC Radio. Rafael Fiziev is taking on Justin Gaethje. And I'm just fucking looking forward to this one, man, because we know what Rafael Fiziev is coming here to do. He is coming here to utilize his power, command respect in the octagon with his kickboxing, and then right away put Justin Gaethje in some bad spots. And the good but bad thing is that Justin Gaethje invites those bad spots. Who loves chaos more than Justin Gaethje? I don't know. But this is the wrong guy to demand chaos in because we've been a little critical about Gaethje in the past. Doesn't stick to the game plan, doesn't know how to mix up his strikes with his grappling, and has had a very hard time introducing his wrestling into the octagon as of lately. Rafael Fiziev is a guy who has fought on Max Muay Thai. He's got that famous Matrix slip. He's successful 5 in his last 6. He's got some of the most brutal power, great leg kicks, great kickboxing, beautiful Muay Thai. He was a Muay Thai instructor and a K1 instructor at Tiger Muay Thai. He's one of the most feared guys there. If you saw the matchup versus him and Brad Riddell, these are two guys that have had crazy kickboxing careers and then we're now meeting in the UFC. And you saw how that fight went. It was a competitive one. Rafael Fiziev was the champion at the end, and that's kickboxing culture right there. Two guys that even train in the same gym will then fight each other on the world stage in the UFC. That's typical kickboxing culture. You never see that in boxing. You rarely see it in MMA, and I love that. But, you know, this is a difficult matchup because everyone loves a Justin Gaethje fight because he throws caution to the wind. He'll take 1 to give 2. He'll take 3 to give 1. He doesn't give a fuck. But Rafael Fiziev is the wrong guy to do that with because his striking is at a different level. The angles that he sets his strikes up, the range in which he understands things go at, it's a different ball game. And the fact that Justin Gaethje is more reluctant to set up his grappling with his strikes, be a little bit more traditional, go back to the roots of being a collegial wrestler or an American wrestler, is one of the things that I'm a bit concerned about. Because if he wants to make this a kickboxing match and a striking match against Fiziev, it's going to get ugly. He's got refrigerators in his hands, Fiziev. He's got palm trees or bamboo sticks for legs. This guy gives no fucks. And if Gaethje is not going to be patient, not look to slow down the fight a little bit with his boxing, with his clinch, and then look to maybe put Fiziev up against the fence, rough him up a little bit with some dirty boxing, and then go for some takedowns. If he's not going to do that and he's just going to go there to try to slang and bang, I think it's going to be a long night for Gaethje. I think that Gaethje's going to have to show us something a little bit different here. He's going to have to learn to mix things up a little bit better because, you know, we saw in the likes of Khabib Nurmagomedov and Charles Oliveira that the reluctancy of Justin Gaethje to mix things up, his strikes and his grappling, is exactly what always gets him into trouble. But at the same time, that's the exact thing that, like a Merab Dashvili, got him to the position where he's at. This guy charges forward like a fucking battering ram. Doesn't care about anything. But then Rafael Fiziev from Kyrgyzstan, you think he gives a shit either? That 50K, remember we spoke about it. That 50K that he won in the bonus, I believe, against Mark the Bone Crusher Diakese changed his life. These are the guys that don't complain about fighter pay, that don't get involved in the politics of MMA. These are the guys that sign the contract and come to fight. Rafael Fiziev is a guy that comes to fight. He's going to look to set up his jab, look to throw those strong kicks to the body, and look to throw those power shots. And when Justin Gaethje is maybe boxing with his head down a little bit, throwing a little bit of those flailing punches, that's when I also think Fiziev is going to look to clinch up, similar to a Charles Oliveira, utilize those knees, utilize those elbows, and beat the brakes off Justin Gaethje. So I actually think that range and distance control is a big thing also in this fight. I think that the closer Justin gets to Fiziev, the more risk he has to get hurt. Because that Muay Thai clinch, those knees to the body, those elbows, those Muay Thai trips are something devastating from Fiziev. You know, Gaethje is going to have to fight very similar to the Tony Ferguson fight. Except the thing is like, are we ready to give full credit to Justin Gaethje? Or did a lot of it have to do with the fact that Tony Ferguson was a lesser opponent? You know what I'm saying? But that's what Justin's going to have to do. A lot of footwork, a lot of punches from different angles, not always looking for the home run shot, setting up some pitter-pat punches to then get to the power shots and then ending off with those hard leg kicks. These guys are going to go blow for blow on the leg kicks, and I'm looking forward to that. This is going to be an all-out war. I wish that it was a 5-rounder in itself as well, but London, England deserves a great co-main event. We got a strong boxer with a good wrestling background that's a bit reluctant to mix the two things up versus a purebred Muay Thai and K1 striking practitioner who is made out of stone, has an unburning desire like Justin Gaethje, and this has all of the material to be one of the great fights of the year. So I'm looking forward to that one. We're going to see what's going to happen there. We're either going to see a 15-minute war or someone's going to crash and burn in that one. So stay tuned for that one. Hope you're liking the 2 episodes a week. We're coming at you. The views are climbing. I'm so blessed to starting to see, you know, triple digits and now in the 200 views. You guys don't understand how much this shit means to me. You know, building more content for you guys, networking more on Instagram. The subscribers are going up. All of the numbers are going up. And I'm not boasting because it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with you. AC Radio, we're out, baby.
Big G's, no design on my jacket. Work hard, I'm changing my bracket. Talk tough, we ain't hear that racket. Dogs came in, you know how to stack it. Don't take it wrong, but I'ma need my ends though. I got tigers on my chest like Kenzo. Rail came, yeah, he putting that Benz though. Carol's here, man, you know he stay 10 toes. Big dog, man, you know I ain't worried. Bent up, so I'm talking real slow.